minutes for our December 2nd, 2020 Administration and Operations Committee meetings. Does anyone on the committee like to make a comment? All right, seeing none, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to approve.
Okay,
we have a first and a second. Joan, did you get that?
A move, Spiegel.
Moreno Valley was the move to approve.
Yep.
I did not catch the second. Was that District 2?
San Jacinto.
Yeah.
I heard San Jacinto is the second.
Oh, San Jacinto. Okay.
All right. So are there any no's for this item? Are there any abstentions for this item? All right. Thank you very much. That motion passes. Now we're going to move on to item number 5, which is our consent calendar. All items listed on the consent calendar will be approved by one motion, and there will be no discussion on individual items unless a board member or members of the public request a specific item to be pulled from the calendar for separate discussion. Does anyone from the committee wish to pull an item for discussion? All right. Does any member of the public wish to pull an item for discussion? All right, hearing none. Consent items 5A and 5B are received and filed, which is our personnel report and the Transportation Center monthly report. All right, moving on to item number 6, which is our regular calendar. It's approved resolution 2021-01 to utilize State of California Senate Bill 1, SB 1, State Transit Assistance, State of Good Repair, SGR funds for operating expenses. Craig Fainer will present.
Great. Good afternoon, Chairman, and First Vice Chairman Schwank, and the committee members. My name is Craig Fainer, and I'm the agency's Chief Financial Officer. This item requests approval of Board Resolution 2021-01, which authorizes the Chief Executive Officer of RTA to utilize FY20 through FY22 State of Good Repair or SGR funds for operating expenses rather than their original intended use for capital improvements. This would be done to address funding shortfalls in operating or capital expenses resulting from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. On September 29th of 2020, Governor Newsom signed Assembly Bill 107 into law. Section 9 of that legislation pertains to the requested resolution today, and language from that section is cited on page 19 of the agenda. In cooperation with Riverside County Transportation Commission, or RCTC, the agency programs its annual SGR allocation from the state in the fiscal year after the state's appropriation, and we program that money as capital funds, the original intended purpose. Thus, on page 20 of the agenda, FY20 SGR funds were programmed in the agency's FY21 Short Range Transit Plan, or SRTP, and accompanying budget. Succeeding years would follow suit. The agency will continue to initially program State of Good Repair funds in the annual SRTP and budget as capital. The requested resolution, however, clears the way to utilize SGR funds for operating expenses at the discretion of the Chief Executive Officer as needs of the agency arise. Any such change in the use of funds would be documented in an administrative amendment to the annual SRTP, but would also not change aggregate funding program for that fiscal year. In other words, if we program money, moving it from capital to operating, it wouldn't change the aggregate total of revenue for the budget because of that change. Having the flexibility to use SGR funds during the 3 years of the AB 107 eligibility is helpful, but the board should be cautioned that the agency still has significant capital requirements in the future. And examples of this are zero-emission vehicles, zero-emission infrastructure, and ongoing revenue and non-revenue vehicle procurements and general infrastructure needs. There's no fiscal impact from this action requested today. The recommendation before you today is as follows: to recommend this item to the full board of directors for their consideration to approve resolution 2021-01 to use FY20 through FY22 SGR funds for operating expenses as necessary and at the discretion of the Chief Executive Officer. Chair Schwank, that completes my presentation.
Thank you very much, Craig. Are there any questions from any committee members regarding this item?
No.
All right, no questions. Are there any questions from the public on this item? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion and a second.
So moved.
Senesino, second.
Motion from Corona, second from Senesino. Okay, are there any no's for this item? Are there any abstentions? All right, hearing none, that item passes. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, we're going to move on to our board member comments. If you'd like, it'd be maybe easier to use the raise hand function, or if you just want to raise your hand and wave at me, I can go ahead and acknowledge you. Mr. Steiner, go ahead.
I just wanted to congratulate both Linda and Zach for the chair and vice chair for stepping up and doing that for us. We all appreciate it. And also Supervisor Spiegel, congratulations on becoming the chair of the Board of Supervisors. That's a mighty task that you're taking on, but I know you're going to do great. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you very much, sir. Any other board member comments today? All right, I'm not seeing any. We're a quiet bunch today, aren't we? Ready to get out of here? All right. Mr. Rubio, do we have any announcements today?
Chair Schwenk, I have a couple quick announcements. I wish there were better news to report. Hopefully in the next few months this will improve, but the reality is our ridership is down in the month of December 62% compared to the same month from the prior year. That's for fixed route ridership. Our dial ride ridership for the same period is down 75%. To date, for January, we have 22 employees positive for COVID-19. Of those 22, there were 3 employees who were identified as close contact and have been placed in quarantine. We still have a very aggressive policy here at RTA. We have aggressive close contact tracing. Those tracers go into action. They work 24/7 until we've identified anybody who had close contact with anybody who tests positive 2 days prior to the onset of symptoms. We have testing in compliance with the Cal OSHA emergency regulation, 2 days at each division. That's been going on. We had 2 asymptomatic employees identified yesterday, and they've been removed from service and instructed to self-isolate. They had no close contacts. So we're looking forward to those vaccines as much as everybody else. And we appreciate the support of the board and thank all the staff for all their hard work and what they're doing to help ensure the safety of everybody here at RTA. That concludes my announcements, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, sir. And no, RTA is having a tough time with everything these days. So, you know, continues being vigilant and protecting staff, first and foremost, and our drivers and the public as well. So we appreciate everything you're doing.
Zach, may I ask a question?
Of course, sir, go ahead.
Thank you. I was trying to raise little hand here. I couldn't find it on the screen. I apologize. Thank you, Larry, for first and most, thank you for taking this position, Zach, and leading us on this meeting. And once again, congratulations to Linda Krupa to being our chairwoman. Larry, the question I have is on December 2020, you said that the ridership went down 62%. Do we have an actual number? As of 2019, it was approximately 130,000 riders. I just got these numbers from TNOW meeting. And 2020, it was approximately 31,000. So do we have the down ledger on how many people actually rode the buses on RTA 2020?
Yes, sir. I don't have them here with me. I'll be happy to send those out via email to you tonight.
Don't worry about it. Someone is going to do that for me because I was going to do that in my city report to see how much we've been affected also with COVID. Thank you, Larry.
It's been a tremendous impact, but if you have somebody else doing it for you, I'll do it as well and follow up. I actually have them on my desk. I just didn't bring them into the.
Okay, if you don't mind, just so I can do my report. Thank you very much. Sherman, thank you for letting me speak. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ledesma. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to our next item, which is just our next meeting, Wednesday, February 3rd, 2020. I look forward to seeing everyone there at that meeting, and please take care. Please take everything back to your cities and do everything you can to protect your cities, and then obviously we get those people convinced or encouraged to get the vaccine, and we can sort of move beyond this. So thanks for joining us today. Yes, ma'am.
I think this is one of the fastest meetings that we've had. So you've done good.
Do I get points for that, Chair Krupa? All right, I'm gonna be efficient with everyone's time. I know it's important. So I'll call this meeting adjourned. I hope everyone has a great day and take care.
Thank you.